Welcome back to Mark and Nick's Excellent Film Podcast. I'm Mark.
And I'm Nicholas.
And we have a special guest this week.
I'm Katie.
A couple weeks ago, or I don't even know, how long ago was this?
It must have been 4 now.
Yeah.
We did all of Jaws.
We and Nick did a little mini-series. We watched movies that impacted us as children. And Nick suggested that his girlfriend Katie, we watch her favorite childhood film. Is this your favorite movie in general? Is it?
It's just my favorite movie in general.
Okay.
I don't think I saw it until I was like 14, but I've probably
really?
seen it like about 50 times in my 20s.
Okay. I've only seen it twice. I saw it once and then today.
I've seen it a couple times. The first time I saw it, I think was at Coolidge for something, or like Luna.
Yeah, you went to the Luna for it?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was some random event that they had, and then I had watched it. I bought the Criterion Collection for it because I was like, "Ooh, I had just watched this. I wonder if there's anything else cool on it." And
Was
it was
there?
all right.
Nothing?
Nah.
Nothing good?
I didn't really watch any of this, but nothing jumped out from the special features, and then I didn't listen to the commentary.
Yeah.
Oh, the commentary was really good. I think I went to the AMC theaters were playing it on my 28th birthday. I went alone because none of my friends were interested in watching The Princess Bride in theaters. And it was like the best birthday I've ever had. But they did the commentary after and it was incredible.
That's
So
awesome.
you really missed out.
I'll check it out.
Will you, Nick, or are you just lying to us? Are you being...
I'm just lying to you guys.
Yeah. Nick's always like, oh, yeah, I'll check that out. And then like 3 weeks later, he'll be like, oh yeah, that. I just haven't gotten around to it. I remember you had me like search for like a wrestling match because you wanted to like see if you can get into wrestling, and I fucking found one and I sent you it, and then I never heard about it again because I knew you didn't watch it.
I actually watched that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I think it was like 2 weeks after. Dude, that is so long ago now. I think that was during Bond.
It was.
I thought it was pretty cool. I definitely don't think that I like wrestling though.
Yeah, it's fair. Yeah, you're gonna say you hated it.
I didn't hate it. I thought it was interesting, but like I assume that a lot of it is how invested you get in the characters in it.
Mm-hmm. You can say you hated it. It's like I hated this
hate
movie.
Oh.
Oh.
I think it's a pretty good movie. I think it held up pretty well from what I remember from last time. I take it held up for you, Katie.
Yeah.
This is the first time Katie's like after like 30 times watching, and she's like, "Oh, actually, this movie kind of sucks. I don't know if I like this."
It's something about being with you guys.
Yeah, you just make everything cynical and awful.
I was literally incapable of listening to you guys talking shit about it the whole time because I was so enthralled by the film.
You were quoting most of it.
Yeah, I don't think
I'm
we
sorry.
even.
It's okay.
I don't even think we talked shit about it that much.
No,
I was just talking about how great the Phantom Menace was, while we're watching it.
And how the Holy Grail is better than the Princess Bride, which I fully disagree with.
I mean,
You're just wrong.
I'm not, but
I do think that would be a sick double feature, though. Watching back to back those two.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, granted, I've only seen like half of the Holy Grail, so I probably shouldn't be talking. But I just can't imagine that anything could possibly top this.
I mean, I can think of a Phantom Menace that can top this, but I'm just kidding.
A single one.
A single Phantom Menace. What will win? A dozen Princess Brides or one Phantom Menace? But no, I mean, even Holy Grail, I think is kind of overrated too.
Which one?
Holy Grail.
Yeah,
I think Holy
it
Grail
is.
is like funny, but
What was the one that you mentioned? There was another
Life
Monty Python.
of Brian is hysterical, and Meaning of Life is also pretty good, but it's way too long. Like
I'll definitely check it. Actually, I think Holy Grail is really long too.
Holy Grail is like 80 minutes long.
Oh wow!
It just feels like it's taking an eternity. That's why I don't like it.
We were both surprised by the runtime of Princess Bride.
Yeah, because behind the scenes, Nick was gonna be late today, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is gonna be like probably a 2-hour something movie," but it's only an hour and 40 minutes, and that is what I like to hear.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good runtime. It was a little scary when we got 30 minutes in, and I was like, "Ooh, I thought this was the end of the movie." I seem to have forgotten most of the movie.
Yeah. I'm like now I'm starting to like shorter runtimes after, especially me and you going through the Daniel Craig Bond films and having to sit here for a stupid amount of time for the most boring ass shit of my life.
Are they all like 2.5 hours?
They're probably longer.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure 2 or 3 of them are longer.
Yeah, isn't like No Time to Die like 3 hours long?
Yeah, and that's their send off. But I think even Quantum was really long. And Skyfall's fucking long.
Yeah, Spectre was like, it felt like 8 hours. That was like getting waterboarded. But yeah, no, I think this movie is fine. Yeah.
Would you say where would Act 1 end up? Would it be in like the fire swamp?
Act 1 ends when she finds out he's Wesley.
Okay. Act 1's amazing.
Act 2 is when they entered the thing. And then Act 3 is when Wesley when
he's brought back.
Well, it's when Montoya and the other guy are like,
they go find him in the pit of despair.
Yeah, that's where Act 3 begins.
Yeah.
When they decided to group up, that's Act 3.
Okay, I like 1 and 2. I like 1 and 3, and 2 I think is all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like 2's a little forgettable.
link.
I can't even think of anything that happened there. But
I mean,
3 is definitely my favorite.
2 has the fire swamp stuff, so I like that.
Nope, that scene's terrible. That is my one complaint about this movie. That whole scene sucks.
Is this because Robin Wright sucks and
Yeah.
that she doesn't do anything?
She's just useless.
Yeah.
She just watches her supposed one true love get eaten by ROUSs, and she's like,
Yeah.
my dress is on fire, or whatever.
But I mean, like, anybody who knows me knows that I like weird puppets and creatures. So seeing a giant rat man, clearly a man in a suit, attack Carrie Ellis is hilarious, and that's like my jam. I just want to see big, stupid creatures. If only he had like a Brooklyn accent, then I would have been like, this is... Or made some strange noise.
Your trifecta.
Yeah. Like, you need to have, like, a weird, like, stereotypical accent, but also be an alien, or you have to just have, like, a noise you make, and that's it. And then you're my favorite character.
And we talked about quicksand, too, and how just quicksand is... We were all raised. I feel like I learned about quicksand every other year, and about how cool of a death it would be, and then never...
Well, how big of a problem it was going to be.
Yeah, it's never shown up.
Yeah, it's very, very unfortunate. I watch all these Universal horror movies expecting to die gloriously by townspeople chasing me with fire and end up in quicksand, but it never happened, and I feel cheated. And I want this is my formal suit against Universal Studios. Call your fucking lawyer. But which one of you wants to recount the plot of the film?
I think you should have to as
It's your film pick.
If you want.
But you know how I'm just so bad at storytelling or telling about anything.
If you've listened to this podcast, so am I.
Yeah.
But if you want, you can do Act 1. I can try to do 2, and then Mark can do 3.
Sure.
Why would you ask that? I'm not going to do Act 3. Don't lie. I'm not going to do Act 3. I do not know this movie well enough.
We just watched it. It's the closest one to right now.
That's fair.
I can do it also, if you don't want to.
No, I'll do it.
I do like the... that's the also thing is when we recount plots, we just go all over the place where we'll start and we're like, oh yeah, this one thing, let's talk about that for like an hour. I do like the framing of like the little boy getting read a bedtime story because I get what they're doing. They're doing the whole
sick.
He's sick, and then like the movie's so like kind of like generic and stuff, so it's like they're making fun of it.
I really like it. There's even like the setting and the costumes and everything, like, especially a lot of the camera work and backgrounds and stuff, feels like it's supposed to be not top of the line perfect.
Yeah.
Do you know, was this a blockbuster when it came out? Or?
I don't know.
Yeah, it flopped in theaters.
Oh, okay.
Did it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Maybe it didn't have a huge budget then. Because in my head, I'm like, oh, this is all creative choice to shoot it like it's nothing amazing.
No, I mean, it probably had a big budget behind it because Rob Reiner had 2 hit films before this. But, I mean, I think, like, stylistically, it's supposed to look like a 1930s Errol Flynn movie where, like, you have, like, a lot of matte paintings and clearly you're in a pool.
Yeah. There's some great points where they're trying to make waves and stuff, and it's just going like the wrong direction.
Yeah,
around the boat.
And then you have like the costumes all like kind of like over the top looking, and rather than like how it really was during that period where it's just like actually really shitty, but it's like that really like velvet fucking shirts and all that garbage that I do like because I love camp.
Yeah.
I will say I read this book like 10 years at least after I saw the movie, and I was so confused because the book starts out with a like prologue or like a foreword that talks about how he's like, I was trying to find this book, the unabridged version of the S. Morgenstern book, or Morgenstern, I can't remember which one it is, for my granddaughter, and I like looked all over the country trying to find the world trying to find this book, and all I could find, like eventually I found it in a different language and somebody translated for me like the unabridged version. So I wanted to write this book as the abridged version. So I spent like an hour trying to find the unabridged version, but it turns out that was just part of the book. Like it was complete fiction.
Yeah, it's just fucking with you.
That's great.
I was like, what is going on?
That reminds me of like the that weird opening to The Big Lebowski. You know what I'm talking about? Where it has like the film historian, they're reconstructing the movie.
Dude, I watched that like last year, and I have no memory of that part.
Yeah, I think it's only on the DVD.
Oh, okay. Because I think I like rented it off Amazon or something.
Because like the gag is like the film got like they had to like reconstruct the movie because all the footage was lost, and but the only thing that existed was a really shitty print from it, like the Spanish cut. So it's all in they're like Spanish. They had to get Jeff Bridges and John Goodman to redub every single line, but they couldn't get a couple of the other actors as a joke. But we got exact impersonators or something like that.
That's pretty great.
Yeah.
That's funny. I wonder why they don't have that all the time. Maybe it was confusing people too much.
Maybe it's probably too esoteric or something. Where it's like
it fits the movie really well.
Yeah. See, this is what I mean. How we say let's talk about the plot, and then we don't talk about the plot.
Katie didn't get a sentence into the plot before we went on a tangent.
I didn't even get a word in. I didn't even try.
Yeah. Okay. Now we can talk about the plot.
Okay. So it does start out with the little kid being... Oh, I guess you kind of went over this already.
Yeah.
So it transitions to the grandfather reading this book. And it just starts out as just a short little love story where Princess Buttercup is falling in love with the farm boy. Of course, this is where the famous "as you wish" line comes from, which really means "I love you." And... yeah, the kid is just being a saucy little thing. They kind of flash back to the kid the whole time, like back and forth, and he just like is so done with the kissing parts.
He's like,
and he's just
kissing.
like, oh, grandpa.
Yeah. Get a room.
Yeah. And I actually kind of don't... He gets shipped off to... I think he's like going to train somewhere. Or he's trying to learn a trade, maybe? I don't know what they say in that movie, honestly.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
I've seen this twice and I'm confused of what the fuck.
He goes on a boat because Dread Pirate Roberts ends up taking him.
Yeah.
But I don't remember why he went on a boat in the first place.
I genuinely, I don't remember. I know in the book it was because I think he was going overseas to learn how to do something. But I don't remember what they said in the movie.
Yeah, probably to like learn to fence or something.
Yeah. Maybe.
But, very, very much generic hero stuff. And then, because I remember every time I watch the movie, I'm always like, oh, that's jarring, where it goes from like him being like "as you wish" and then cuts to like, oh no, she's gonna get married to the king. And I'm like, what the fuck?
There's absolutely no indication of how much time happens in between the farm boy leaving, Wesley leaving, and all of a sudden Prince Humperdinck is like, this is your new princess, like, so you're soon to be queen, Princess Buttercup. And it's like, how much time elapsed here? We have absolutely no idea.
Knowing women, probably a weekend.
Do you think they should have had a different couple acting for the first farmhouse scene to show like, oh, now the main cast is here? And
no, because then you wouldn't
know him.
You wouldn't know it was him with the mask, because I think that's the whole gag. Is that like, I think they're also making fun of like the 30s movies where you'll have like these 40-year-old actors being like, we're teenagers and we're falling in love, just so when they're 40 you can like.
I wish that had died off.
I don't think that happens that often anymore. I think it's funny. I love that shit.
What was this? It wasn't Euphoria.
There
was some other show that my brother was like,
Pen 15.
That's penis.
That's a show where genuine like 30-year-olds act as 8th graders, and it's like the cringiest show ever. I mean, the point of it is to be cringy.
Oh, okay.
And they're like supposed to be older people. It's just 2 of them are 30, and then the rest of the 8th graders are the right age.
Well, that's one of my favorite gags in Walk Hard.
Oh, that's a Elvis thing, right?
No, it's a parody movie of like music biopics.
Oh,
and
is it Ryan? What's
John C. Reilly?
Yes.
But there's a part where he plays his first show, but it's just John C. Reilly, but he's playing at the high school thing, and they're like, "How's my 14-year-old son?" It's just John C. Reilly with a bunch of kids.
Did he shave at least?
No. He just looks like himself. And like they don't try it at all. It's just like, and then like later on, he's just like, I think I'm doing pretty good for an 18-year-old with like a wife and 2 babies. Like, yeah,
great. That was on my watch list forever. I think somebody else brought that up recently.
I've been talking about it a lot lately.
Okay, it was probably you because I mentioned that I've only seen him in a couple things, but I know he's like a pretty decent build person.
Yeah. Well, guess what we're watching next week, Nick?
Oh, I'll watch that. Oh, back to the story.
Yeah, Princess Bride.
I don't remember where I left off.
We were talking about how jarring.
Princess Humperdinck. Yeah, it just all happened so quickly. And then she just leaves to go on a horse ride, and she gets kidnapped by Andre the Giant, and I don't even know, Mandy Patinkin. And I don't know Vicini's name in real life.
I don't know, but he's Rex from Toy Story.
No way.
Really?
Yeah.
He also went to, I think, Oxford, and like he's genuinely a scholar. Like in real life, he's super smart. Apparently,
there's a good gag about him. I don't know if you ever seen the movie Manhattan.
No.
But there's like a good gag in it where so it's basically Woody Allen's like trying to seduce this girl, and she's like keeps talking about her ex-husband, who's like this like gorgeous sexual dynamo. He just awoken her sexuality, and then she keeps bringing it up constantly throughout the movie, and then you finally meet the ex, and it's him. And he's like, "Oh, how you doing?" And he's like,
amazing.
That's him. He's like, "Oh, you have no idea."
That's great.
Yeah, I like these 3 characters, the best 3 characters in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think. Like, Mandy, whatever his last name is, Andre the Giant, and Inconceivable have like the best chemistry in the entire thing.
I agree.
I could watch an entire movie of just them 3 hanging out.
Vicini I get a little sick of him, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, I'm glad that he died when he did.
I think,
Interesting.
yeah.
Spoiler.
Oh yeah.
For 3 minutes from now.
Yeah.
In the plot.
I feel like he's around for like the perfect amount of time before I get annoyed of him. Yeah. I think his send-off scene is perfect for him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is getting so annoying. Oh, he's dead. Okay.
Oh, you did say you like the annoying characters.
I do. I do. He's the Watto of this movie.
The Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah. I wouldn't say he's the Jar Jar Binks.
No, he's not that bad.
He's not that bad, but he's definitely the Watto, and or Sebulba or something like that. But no, I just like him and Mandy's like interactions. Like when he keeps saying inconceivable, like, you keep using that word. I don't think you know what that means. Like,
do not think it means what you think it means.
Yeah. And like it's also just like how he's just always so frustrated because like he's just like asks people to do simple tasks and they're always just like I don't know how to do that. I can only doggy paddle.
That some of the acting that Andre the Giant does is so perfect. It's so awkward. It's so great. Like his tone never changes.
Yeah. Anyone want a peanut?
That is one of my favorite lines. Another fun fact about this is that when Andre the Giant was reading the lines, he could not get any of it right. Like he just could not remember any of his lines, and the director, whoever, was just like, "This is gonna be terrible. Like he can't remember anything." So he ended up recording all of Andre the Giant's lines, and in like the same way that he wanted Andre the Giant to present them, and so he just ended up watching it over and over, and he remembered by the end of that.
Just did it phonetically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just sound the words out.
I mean,
got you.
that makes sense. At that time, wrestlers were not good actors, which is hilarious because wrestling's all about acting.
Yeah, and now the two highest paid actors are wrestlers.
Really?
Well, The Rock's number one, and then John Cena must be in the top 10.
Maybe. He's more like niche, though.
I don't know. I
like
mean,
right now, he's like at the point where The Rock was like when he was doing Mummy Returns and shit.
Dude, I forgot about that. Yeah, I guess he is on the downside of his career.
Yeah.
But he was in like.
Well, I think he's like coming up. I'm just like he's like getting there. Like he's just starting out.
You
Like
mean Cena or
Cena.
I mean, he's been around for a while acting though.
Has he?
I think I'm trying.
But
to think
has
of
he
the
done
first
anything notable?
He did
Nah,
he did the Suicide Squad.
Oh, he is.
He's
Whatever
Peacemaker.
that. Yeah.
What?
He's Peacemaker. It's in the new Suicide Squad. That's just called the Suicide Squad, not to be confused with Suicide Squad, which was the first one.
Yeah, the one that was bad.
Yeah.
Which one was bad? The new one?
First
or the
one.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
The one with Jared Leto.
Yeah, right. That was terrible.
Yeah, our Lord and Savior, Morbius. It's Morbin time.
Oh my God, Katie and I watched Morbius.
Did you?
Yeah, it's
Was it as good
Morbin
as
time.
The Princess Bride?
What do you think?
Oh, yeah, that was so funny.
Do you think it's better or worse than The Princess Bride?
Worse. I mean, there's nothing better than The Princess Bride.
She had to think about it.
My favorite Morbius moment is when they're like, "Do you need a doctor?" He's like, "I am a doctor." Like, get that paycheck, Jared.
He earned it.
Yeah. My favorite Jared Leto thing is the just like House of Gucci, where everyone's trying really hard and he just puts on the most like cartoonish Italian accent of all time.
I forgot he was in that.
Yeah, like everyone else is like trying to win Oscars and he's just like, "Mama, Papa, I make the suits.
I'm Italian.
Yeah, don't you understand that I'm Italiano? Hey." And everyone's just, and like Al Pacino has to like act like a serious scene across from him.
That's like 3 hours too, isn't it?
Yeah, but another fun Andre the Giant fact is that when Andre the Giant was a wrestling, his ass is too big for like toilets, so he had to shit in the bathtub.
Been there.
But we've all been there, you know.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah, and then he would like drink like 40 beers just to get buzzed.
I think it was 40 beers, and like he was barely even tipsy.
Yeah. Anyone want a peanut?
That's how he starts the party.
Yeah, it's walking
Busting
with,
out the peanuts.
yeah, busts out the peanuts. Yeah, I like the bit when they're on the boat and he's like this. We're sure no one's following us, and he's just like, "It's inconceivable. No one saw this." He's like, "Why would you even ask that?" And he's like, "Is there someone following us?"
There's a boat behind us.
And this is after him like complaining for like multiple times that he feels like there's somebody following him, and finally Fassini's like, "Why do you ask?" And he's just like, "Well, there's somebody back there."
Yeah. Inconceivable. Yeah, I love this guy. Look at him. Oh, my big complaint, I think Nick would back me up on this, is that he should have had a rat tail.
Yeah, there's a point where his collar is like furred up, and I thought for sure it was a rat tail for at least 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And they were like shooting around it. I was like, please be a rat tail, please. But it was just his collar.
Yeah.
He's got kind of nice hands.
Andre the Giant?
No, Fassini.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I mean, he is a sexual dynamo. Look at him.
He knows how to use those.
He knows how to use them. I mean, he may be erect and a little arm, but he knows how to use those for optimal effect. But who's your favorite character in the film? Before we get back to the plot.
I think it's Inigo Montoya. He just has so many good lines, and
he has that one line.
Yeah, he has that one line that everybody remembers. Nothing else really matters.
He has the one I just said. I don't think you know what that means.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of other stuff he says. He's also my favorite. I'm trying to think of stuff later in the movie he says, but I can't really.
Also, Billy Crystal, the Miracle.
I think it's just Miracle Man.
Yeah, the Miracle.
Miracle Maker.
Oh,
Miracle Maker, yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like a 60s dance group.
Yeah.
I think he's my favorite, but he's in it for so little that, like...
Yeah.
That's what we call a standout performance.
Yeah, that's a Mark character if you ever saw one. No, my favorite's the rat.
that
the ROUS?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Get it right.
Show some respect.
Or actually the guy who, like, he's just like, you've been knocked out, mate.
Yeah.
Like that's some peak
That
stupid shit.
That one is one of my first, my like top 3 favorite lines or short scenes.
Yeah.
I just like love. It's just so funny. It's so good.
I think that's the point where I was like, oh, this like really reminds me of Monty Python.
Yeah. I do think that this has like very Monty Python-esque shit in it, but
Which came first?
Monty Python.
Oh.
By a long shot.
How long?
Like, well, Holy Grail came out like 12
right.
years before this. Because it's 87.
It'll literally be 12 years before this.
Holy Grail was probably 75. And then, but Monty Python had been around since like 1968.
Yeah, because it's just a comedy group, right?
Yeah.
Did they have like a TV show or is it 75?
12 years?
Hold on. Oh, I'm going to have to do math. Can you do the math?
It's 12 years.
Yeah, I told you.
That's impressive.
I told, like, I don't want to say I warned her that Mark was like a movie savant.
Yeah. My superpower is just knowing movie dates.
Just random facts about movies.
Yeah. And Andre the Giant. But
just to flex his skills a little, I think it was one that Ryan was on. He literally got the day right that a movie premiered.
Damn.
I don't remember what it was anymore, but I got it. Yeah. Watching this, do you think it would have been like, if you put it in black and white, it would give like a 1930s feel?
With these sets, totally.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would have liked it more, though.
No.
I don't think I would have liked it more, but I think it would have been cool, honestly.
Yeah.
I'd watch it in black and white.
Yeah. But it's funny because it reminds me of like Errol Flynn movies, but Errol Flynn movies are also in color, so I'm like, I don't know what I'm saying that for. But yeah, I do like the whole scene with Montoya and Wesley, where they're just like kind of bonding and being very polite with each other, even though they have to kill each other. But then like,
yeah, I like when Wesley is down the rocks and. Oh my gosh!
When he's climbing.
Yeah, when he's climbing up, and Inigo Montoya is like, "Let me throw your rope. Like this is taking too long." And Wesley's like, "I'm sorry, but I don't trust you. Like obviously you just want to kill me, so I'm not going to trust you to throw a rope down." And he's like, "Well, I give you my word as a Spaniard." And he's like, "Nah, I've known too many Spaniards."
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, giving his word on the grave of his father, he's just like, okay, throw me the rope. He gets like so like serious, like, all right, I believe you now.
He already knows his backstory.
Yeah. I also love like the shitty scars on his face.
The Joker scars.
Yeah. I just like how everything looks like shit. Like it does. And I think it's supposed to look like shit.
Yeah. That's like, especially like this, we're looking at the scene where they're about to have their little duel.
Yeah.
And it's a painted background set. It's got like, I don't want to say cheap, but old style rocks that are clearly props.
They're on top of a mountain and none of their hair is blowing.
There's no wind at all.
I think it's perfect. It looks amazing.
It's the best.
I think it's intended to look like shit.
I do too.
It's intended
it feels purposeful.
Yeah.
It's too perfectly accurate to that for it to be an accident.
Yeah. And I think that that's kind of like a problem in like the third act, where I don't think things look as shitty as they do in the first act.
I could see that.
Yeah. Or maybe that's intentional, where it's like the boy thinks it's all bullshit in the beginning, and then he slowly starts getting more and more invested in it as the filmmakers get more invested.
This is another thing that I hate that Mark does, that There's zero chance that actually happened, but man, I like that. I love the idea that we're seeing the movie through his brain.
It's like analyzing poets from like 1920 in English class in high school.
Yeah.
And you're just interpreting it wrong, but it sounds good.
It's the best way to put it.
I do that with every movie we watch.
I love that. That's pretty awesome.
I think that's I think that holds a little weight.
No, I'm totally with it because all the castle sets I think look fine.
Yeah,
like everything, even just the hallways that have the suit armor and stuff in it, I think look better than this.
Yeah, like I think it's like I think that holds some merit. I don't think I'm bullshitting as much, but I mean, like here we have like the mats, like you see where they fall and the dust just goes everywhere.
Yeah, but that means they did their own stunts, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
yeah. Apparently, in this whole scene, only one flip was a stunt double. The rest was just them.
I think it's West as a flip onto, like hanging onto a rail, and I think it'd be easier to fake him because he's just in.
Black.
All black.
Yeah, complete
yeah.
black. That it could have been anyone.
Yeah,
but it totally looks like is it Montoya?
Inigo Montoya.
Yeah, he jumps and it looks like it's going to be this like spectacular jump and everything, and then he just like jumps, cuts to a different camera, and he just grabs onto a railing. It's like whoa.
Yeah, yeah. Tom Cruise, eat your heart out. These guys are doing their own stunts too, pal. Yeah, your jet thing, unimpressive. What, the little pop?
It's just so great. I was gonna say, the next parts that come up, I like a lot.
Oh, what, like the
next two trials of Wes.
Wesley.
I'm gonna say Wes,
Yeah.
because I just think of my friend Rob's dog constantly.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Stepdad from Liar Liar. His trials. He
was also in Saw.
Yeah.
Katie said it, and I was like, I can't picture what he is, and then it instantly clicked that he would be so much older.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, he's on that main set.
Yeah. He I like how he doesn't kill Inigo.
She made a cheat sheet with everybody's name on it.
Oh.
Because I've seen this movie like 100 times, but every time I talk about it, I can't remember which name is which.
I can't tell you what Andre the Giant's name is.
Andre the Giant.
Fezzik.
Oh, Fezzik? Okay.
There's as everybody knows, I'm amazing with names. So.
Yeah, Golden Finger.
Golden Finger. Can't even remember the name of the movie we're watching half the time. Anyway, the guy who's in all black, he did a cool sword thing.
Yeah. It was cool. I liked it.
The fencing in this movie is incredible.
Yeah. Not Mark Hamill did a good job. Yeah. I like the whole like challenge of wits with Fezzik. No, it's not Fezzik. It's the other one. Faciti. Yeah. Too many weird names.
Yeah, I think that's why I'm getting them mixed up.
Yeah. Too many F's.
I just don't remember them at all.
I like how I say that, but I could name every character in fucking
in
any Star Wars movie. I can just be like, oh yeah, that's Newt Gunray. Yeah, fuck. He's a Nemodian. But
oh my god.
But yeah, I like their whole stupid battle of wits where he's just like, oh, name the cup or drink the cup. Like one of these cups has poison in it, and then like they go through the whole complicated thing to trick him, and then
that's
it's
Vicini. Or was that what you were talking about? The first time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't remember what happens.
He's just
Andre.
skipping Andre the Giants.
Yeah, because it wasn't interesting to me.
He almost kills him with a rock, and then he doesn't, and then he chokes him out.
Yeah.
And Wesley's like, we'll just fight like civilized people. You drop your rock, I drop my sword, and we fight like civilized, hand to hand like civilized people.
Yeah.
He's like, I think you might have an advantage here. You're kind of literally a giant.
Yeah. Like, what women doing wrong to you?
I can't wait to listen to the playback of that. Rub, 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 rub. Yeah. He just wanted to go for another one.
I did, but then his face came up and I felt bad. But no, I like that it was like a stupid like battle of wits where he's like, oh, I'm actually just immune to this poison. I've been building an immunity for like the time that you've not known me. So
great.
it's apparently been a couple of years. I feel like it takes a couple of years to build immunity to poison.
Yeah. I think he was the Dread Pirate Robert for 5 years.
I think he does
I think
say a
that's what he
time
said.
frame. So he was
It's
probably
either 3 or
gone
5.
a little bit before that too, to get to be Dread Pirate.
Yeah.
Do you think it would have been better? Uh-oh.
What?
Mark's famous last words where he goes on a
Think
fucking
it'd be-
hour-long rant.
Get ready for the rewrite of this movie.
Don't you think it would have been better if so you have Wesley leave, as you will or as you wish, and then you have like a thing where you show glimpses of him, like what he's doing on the boat, and then you kind of phrase it as he dies, or so it's like you're seeing it from her perspective. So then it's just like, oh, Wesley's dead, and then when he shows up like this, like it's like, oh, we know who's under the mask, but she doesn't know who's under the mask or whatever. I feel like that would be better.
I'm like fine with it.
It also would have helped us by the time why she's getting married and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the hardest thing is, I wonder if there's a deleted scene or something. I don't know if you'd remember from the book of anything happening between it. Because I do
the
feel
book
like
is a lot more than this. But the screenplay was written by the author of the book too.
Oh,
so it
that's
actually
cool.
is very true to the book. It just leaves out a lot.
They probably just kept cutting scenes out.
Yeah.
Doctor's probably like, it's not my vision. Yeah. What happens after? Oh yeah, they go to like the fire thing.
Yeah.
The
So
fire
that's the end of Act 1, which is definitely the best part of this movie. Those 3 trials of what, I don't know.
And this whole
Combat.
time, Prince Humperdinck is like tracking them.
Yeah, he's the
like
master
hunter.
huntsman.
He actually has a really cool story in the book too. It's like the most dangerous game style. If
cool.
you remember that, he just like lets things free and then hunts them. Anyway, he's tracking them the whole time as if he wasn't the one who set this whole scenario up and had all these people go after Princess Buttercup.
It's fun because I'm pretty sure I missed that the first time I watched it.
Oh, I missed it the first like 30 times I watched it, and then I read the book and it like hit me. But it makes it obvious, like
He
in the
does,
movie. But for some reason, I missed it every single time.
well, I think so. It's obvious that he's trying to get the princess to be dead after their wedding day. But I think there's only like one line in the movie that talks about him hiring these 3 to do it and set up the war and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're saying he's like our Lord Farquaad. Am I wrong?
No, I do associate the two very closely.
Yeah. He does have that air of, some of you may die, but that is a risk I'm willing to take.
Coolidge is playing Shrek tomorrow.
Are they?
Yeah.
Incredible. Inconceivable, even.
Full circle.
Yeah. Isn't that great? We set that up.
Oh yeah. All right, no, I suppose I'll attempt Act 2.
Oh yeah.
There's the whole swamp scene where we get ROUS. Nice.
Rodents of unusual size.
Yeah, they're like big rats.
Otherwise spelled SALVI.
What?
Salvi?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't know what that is.
That's
Is that a Star Wars thing?
No, it's a guy we work with. I'll show you. There's a great. Is the highlight reel listed?
No.
Okay, never mind. I was gonna just put an
Wait, his film reel?
No, there's
I know, yeah.
okay, yeah. Look up his film reel, I guess. We have an unlisted video that's great of all our favorite movie moments.
Behind the scenes moments.
Yeah. I'll show you that later.
Yeah.
I think they're great. Like you mentioned, Mark, I feel like it's a great kind of large Muppet almost. Like the costuming's good for it, and the actor who's in it is pretty good because like obviously you can tell it's a human by the size of it, but he moves pretty weird.
Yeah.
Like, it looks great, except for when he ends up on his back and he's on fire and just kind of like.
And he's like, oh, I've been defeated.
Yeah, and then he just stands there and waits to get stabbed.
After he gets lit on fire.
Well, because he wanted a warrior's death.
Yeah, he gave it to him. He did earn it though. like Katie mentioned, having the problems with the princess just stands there the whole time. It gets annoying at points, but I suppose it's of the time. I'm sure in the book the grandfather's reading, it would be just like that.
Yeah.
And she would just be the damsel in distress.
Back then, yeah. I was gonna say women are useless, but damsel in distress sounds a lot nicer.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, Nick's in rehab from his James Bond misogyny, so he's trying hard to not say things like that anymore.
Trying to correct.
Yeah, he's course correcting himself.
Yeah, I've learned.
Yeah.
It's character development.
Yeah. He's like, maybe Sean Connery was an asshole.
Yeah. Most of those times it wasn't justified.
Yeah.
Then they get caught as they're exiting the swamp of fire, or I think that's what it was called.
Fire swamp.
Fire swamp. Close enough. I'll take half credit.
Yeah.
The
Not as cool as the Bog of Eternal Stench.
It's a great name. Is that Dagobah?
That's no, I said Labyrinth.
Oh, okay. Is it seriously?
Yeah, it's called the Bog of Eternal Stench, and if you walk, like, there's a part where like there's a bunch of like they have to walk across rocks. It's in the bog.
Mm-hmm.
But every time they walk on a rock, it farts. And then the part where a dog walks over, so it's like,
Is it? I didn't know that was a funny movie.
oh yeah, dude, it's a bunch of Muppets.
That's great. Well,
And
I mean,
David Bowie's singing, and he's got like he's wearing tights, so his giant dick is like exposed the whole movie.
Is Dark Crystal a serious movie?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm combining them in my
But I
head.
haven't seen The Dark Crystal since I was like 9, so it could be a comedy. But I was just like enraptured with Muppetry.
I saw it for the first time a couple years ago.
Is it
It
funny?
was pretty intense. I'm pretty sure I cried.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Cried of laughter, or because it was so serious?
I think there was just a sad part.
Oh, okay.
Tears of joy or tears of despair.
And I just confused all of that with Pan's Labyrinth too.
I do that with
I was
Labyrinth
like-
and Pan's Labyrinth. I can never
Yeah.
remember which one's
Is
which.
that the Del Toro one?
Yeah, the legendary scene in Pan's Labyrinth where they go to the Bog of Eternal Stench. Yeah, and they have the famous dog in Pan's Labyrinth. It walks across the rocks with
He has the eyeballs on his hands, right?
yeah.
Dude, what else happens? They get caught.
Yeah, and he's like, surrender. And he's like, oh, you're surrendering to me? I'll accept. And then, Woody.
Yeah, it's pretty good back and forth.
And then he's just like, I have you surrounded. And he's like, and she's like, well, you let him live if I surrender. And it's just like, just die together. What?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they don't.
Lay your hormones control your life.
Wesley gets sent to the pit of despair.
Yeah.
Wait, we skipped the whole part where I think this was my fault. Right before
okay.
the fire swamp, Princess Buttercup, after spending probably hours with her one true love, finally realizes who it is once his mask comes off.
Yeah.
After they go tumbling down a very, very,
Well,
very
that's
large
just
hill.
yeah. Well, that's just par for the course. It's just it's like a thing. Women don't pay attention to the little details in movies. It's like how Lois Lane can spend literally every single day with Superman, wearing glasses and be like, "This guy's a fucking dork. This guy sucks. He's ugly as shit." And then he takes his glasses off. He's like, "What?
Damn.
Look at his muscles."
I do love. She describes Wes's eyes while
His
staring.
beautiful blue eyes, while you can see his beautiful blue eyes like right in her face.
Yeah. It would have been funny if he just wore contacts, so he can like figure it out. He's like undercover boss.
He takes. Afterwards he pulls her aside and gives her a $20,000 bonus to take care of her family. Your story really spoke to me while you taught me how to flip burgers in White Castle.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm going to make you a manager and give you a bonus. Enjoy your new life.
Yeah. You're really lucky you didn't shit on the boss this time.
Yeah. That's a kind of a major point. I guess that would be the end of Act 1. Is her getting that realization.
Anyway, yeah, she's like, let him go. I'll come with you. And they send him to the pit of despair, maybe.
Yeah, it's the torture chamber. Do you remember the name? I think it's Pit of Despair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice. we got this.
Yeah,
We watched the movie.
Yeah, not Bog of Eternal Stench.
And then he's tortured, and then
He dies, maybe?
no, I think he dies a little bit later. I think there's a couple torture scenes.
Does he die of a broken heart?
I think he
No,
dies of
because-
level 50.
Yeah, because Humperdinck gets so fucking pissed that he actually found true love that he's just like, bye. See ya.
Not level 50.
Not to 50!
I really hope that little scream picked up.
I really do too.
It was so tiny and polite.
I was buckling up for the trademark Mark screaming into the mic.
Oh, do I have to do? You want me to do
No,
it?
you don't have to.
I can do it.
And then there's. He leans back, but man, that's a spike. Dude, I literally don't remember what else happens.
Yeah, a bunch of nonsense. A
Yeah, I
bunch
guess
of
they-
like nondescript nonsense happens really for a good like
Princess
50
Buttercup is just like consistently going to Humperdinck being like, I'm sad.
Yeah.
Wesley will come for me. Send your ships out.
Yeah.
And then she checks on him a bunch and
And I guess it explains that the king is actively trying to separate them, and ends up wanting to kill her because he says, write 4 letters and I'll send 4 ships in every
I thought you were
direction.
talking about Prince Humperdinck's father.
I guess he would be the king.
I was
yeah.
like, I don't remember this part.
He's not on your cheat sheet, so I don't remember his name. So he's just the
I
king.
don't think you
No, Humpernick or whatever his name is.
Humperdinck.
Humperdinck.
Humperdinck, 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 Humperdinck.
Wait, wouldn't that be his last name? So wouldn't it be? No, it doesn't matter. I was like, wouldn't the king be the same too? Just it doesn't matter. I'm just
Good point.
Doesn't matter.
Maybe Humperdinck is his first name.
Yeah, because I guess like Prince Albert and stuff like that. That's his first name.
Prince Albert. That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
I go straight for the piercing guy.
Yeah.
It's easy to remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess you just discover he has no intentions of having it be fair, in that he actually set up the initial 3 kidnappers to kidnap the queen or the princess. And there's got to be like 20 more minutes of content in there.
Yeah, you know the movie takes a dip because Katie spent the first act reciting the entirety of the film, and then the second act, I don't think a single word was like quoted, and then the third act happened quoting every other line. So I think this speaks to the quality of Act 2.
Yeah, I don't remember anything like after halfway through, and then Act 3 starts, and she remembers every line again.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't remember. I've never thought about the movie in this way before, and Act 2 is truly not exciting, and it's kind of making me sad talking about it because I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
Usually,
it's not perfect.
almost
I
every
mean, it's
movie.
still perfect. Let's be real, but we could skip the whole middle part, really.
There's every movie has 1 weak act. Usually it's Act 1.
That's not true.
That's so true.
No, it's not.
Episode 1 has a perfect 3 act.
No, it doesn't. Episode 1 is a disaster. That's why I like it. It's shit from the start into the end, and it's fantastic.
I take it back. Most movies have at least 1 bad act of the 3. Whether it's like Act 1 will be twice as long as it needs to be.
Like Jaws doesn't have a bad act.
Jaws is a perfect movie though.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Goldeneye didn't have a bad act.
Golden.
On Majesty's Extras didn't have a bad act.
There are some parts that were a little slow in Majesty.
Yeah, but they rocked.
Yeah, but they were fucking cool though.
But they were fucking based.
Yeah, we go back to Zoomer talk. We're trying to be hip for
Yeah.
our new audience.
Yeah, because this show is on fleek.
I think Fleek might be dated now.
Is it?
It might be.
Oh,
That's not very groovy
It's
at
pretty
all.
mid of you, dude.
Yeah.
I have a friend who spends
No
a
cap.
lot more time on the internet than I do, and sometimes I have to go to him and be like, "Can you translate these words?" Because like I'll be watching a TikTok and have no idea what they're talking about because I guess that means I'm getting old now. I literally cannot understand what people are saying when they're like under 22.
No cap.
On God.
On God? On dogs? Speaking of Labyrinth, my favorite character is the worm.
I haven't seen Labyrinth.
Have you seen Labyrinth, Katie?
I don't think so.
It's in typical
Is it a
Mark
worm?
fashion. There's a worm that shows up for one scene, and he's a worm and he has a scarf, and he goes like, "Hello, I'm a worm."
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's they're like what? And he's like, "Oh, who me? No, I'm just a worm, just a worm." And I'm just like, this is what I mean. I like the annoying shit in movies.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Oh my god.
Sounds like a great character.
Sergeant Pepper or whatever his name is.
Sergeant. Oh, put some respect. Sheriff J.W. Pepper, the greatest James Bond character of all time.
A reoccurring Jar Jar Binks in the Bond universe. And Mark was very attached to him.
I was so attached to him that in every bonding with Bond, when I rewrite the movie, I would find a way to squeeze Sheriff J.W. Pepper into the thing to a maximum role.
And sometimes it would make the movie better, though. There's a lot of more movies could have used him.
Yeah, I think every movie should have an annoying...
He would have been great in No Time to Die.
I just think every movie should have an annoying, weird character that shows up for one scene and then leaves.
Little comic relief.
Or even just comic relief that's annoying. Just offensive to storytelling. You know?
Just to remind you how good the rest of the movie is.
Exactly.
Like, it could be this.
Yeah, I think the second act is a lot of bullshit with Humperdinck and the guy with 6 fingers.
Mm-hmm. German prison?
The Six-Fingered Man.
Oh, that's it.
That's his name?
Oh, okay.
Oh, Count
Dracula.
Dooku?
Dooku. More like doo-doo.
Yeah.
It'll come to me eventually.
Count Chocula.
It's got to be one of them.
It's got to be. Franken Booberry.
Let's just go through cereal mascots.
Yeah. Fruit Brute.
Tony the Tiger.
Yeah.
Captain Crunch.
Yeah. Have you ever had Fruit Brute? It's the one. It's the one of the monsters I have not had. No, I haven't had Yummy Mummy either.
I've had Yummy Mummy. What's the brute one? Is that the wolf or something?
It's the wolf.
Okay.
How is Yummy Mummy?
What?
It was all right. So around Halloween time, there comes out cereal that's Halloween themed, and it's like the classic Universal monsters.
There's Count Chocula, there's Frankenberry, there's Booberry, but there's also Fruit Brute, which I've never met a single person who's ever had it, but it's in Pulp Fiction.
It's like apple cigarettes.
Yeah. Well, no, I've seen boxes of Fruit
it
Brute.
exists. Yeah.
I just never bought it because I don't hate myself.
Sounds like you're willing to experiment, though.
I would be willing to experiment.
This year we'll get all of them. We'll special order them.
Okay, hell yeah, let's do that. Oh, there's my guy. The rat of unusual size just showed up, and I'm loving him. Look at him fucking walking around.
I want to run around like that so badly. That's why I couldn't stop giggling when you were saying it earlier, because I was just thinking about running around your house like that.
You should have. Be free. Live your truth.
Oh God.
I think as we as a society should, go back to walking on all fours.
It would be faster. There's more speed.
Yeah, you ever see that Ukrainian girl who grew up in a dog kennel or something, and she can run and jump like a dog, and she's real fast?
No, but there are a bunch of 10-year-old girls who are really into horse girl. They
that lifestyle.
They run like horses, and it's just the most bizarre thing.
That's awesome.
But it's a big thing. There's so many 12-year-old girls doing it.
That's so cool.
Doing the jumps and just being horsey.
It
just
reminds
being
me
equestrian.
of Bob's Burgers. Yeah, equestrianauts.
Yeah. Equestrian queens. Yeah, the third act is fun though, because then you have the gang gets back together.
Just in the best way.
Oregano is I'm drinking a lot and I gotta get kicked out of the city, but I don't want to. And then the guy's like, "Hey, Brute, help me get this guy out." But it's Andre the Giant. He's like, "My friend."
Oh, hello, my friend.
Oh, hello, my friend. I haven't seen you in a while. That's in take one.
That was pretty good.
Peanuts.
Yeah.
Hey, want a peanut?
And they're like, we gotta go get the guy in all black who was earlier in the film, and then they find him in the pit of despair.
Yeah, they hear his cries.
Yeah,
from miles away.
Yeah, and he's like, "Father, lead me to where he is," and they lead him to a tree, and he leans on it, and then the contraption opens the door, and he goes down there. And even though they never saw what he looked like without a mask, he's also shirtless. So "Oh, it's him."
That's a good point. They go, look at those beautiful eyes. I would know those anywhere.
Yeah.
They're just like
Yeah.
the sea.
The eyes that are shut.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because he did.
He's only
Like, look at those pecs. We'll recognize him anywhere.
Yeah.
He's
and
only
Andre John's
mostly
I
dead.
think he's dead.
and then they bring him to
Oh,
Jewish
Miracle Max.
Miracle Max, a Jewish Brooklyn caricature.
Not caricature.
Yeah. It's just as insensitive as Watto.
Yeah. There's definitely a scale and they're next to each other.
Yeah. They're both on it. George Lucas would be having a hell of a time watching this scene. He's played by Billy Crystal, and he's just super, for a guy who's living in, what is this, medieval times?
I don't know.
Probably.
I do think
No.
Medieval England. We got this guy from Brooklyn.
I like the idea that these giant rats are what rats used to be, and the rats we have now are just the descendants from the medieval times.
Well, those rats, you can literally go find those rats in a subway in New York. If you want to see a rat like that, you just gotta go to New York. They'll be serving you pizza.
Oh, pizza rat!
Yeah, that's Splinter from fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Despite the fact that they talk about multiple real places in this, like they're
Australia comes
Vicini
up.
was saying that he was a Sicilian, and they talk about Australia. This land, at least in the book, is completely made up, and so is whoever they're gonna be fighting. That's a made up place too. All of this I found out when I was reading the book, being like, "Wow, I've never heard of these countries," and then I googled them, and they just weren't real.
I think Gilead.
Oh, Gilead.
Gilead's
Yeah,
the
that was
bad
good.
place. Yeah.
Kind of like the Iliad.
Oh.
By I think Homer.
Yeah, look
Yeah.
at you.
I went to school. What's up? Want to fight about it? Yeah. Man, I also wrote the Odyssey.
Oh my
Take
god.
that!
Deep cut.
Yeah, deep cuts. Nothing but obscure literature on this show. Yeah. Now, what's all your thoughts on Dostoevsky or whatever the fuck his name is, or Crime and Punishment? I didn't read it. I own it. Just look
Gotta
smart.
look like I read it.
Gotta look smart.
Yeah. We all got it. So gang's back together.
Mm-hmm.
Miracle Man does his miracles.
Yeah, after Carol Kane is like Humperdinck, 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 Humperdinck.
Yeah.
And then Katie blacks out from taking a drinking game of take a shot every time they say Humperdinck. And she now is dead
40
of alcohol.
times in 10 seconds.
Yeah, so she's now dead of alcohol poisoning.
After the first 6 times I did that, I changed the rule to you can just not drink every single time they say Humperdinck. I became more reasonable.
And then it became a little bit, still was a little too dangerous. So it was, it's okay if you just don't drink.
Motion allowed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like saying take a drink every time you see a star in a Star Wars movie. And I was like, oh,
Like a movie star.
Dead in 4 minutes.
yeah, everything.
All right. I don't remember what they immediately. Oh, they go to the wall.
Yeah, and they revive him, but he's paralyzed from the neck down, and he can kind of roll over his head around and be. He's just like, you think this helps?
I do really like the
For a guy who just got revived from the dead, he's very not happy about it.
I do like that he doesn't immediately remember everything though. He's like, okay, why are we here? And also, who are you guys?
Yeah,
Where's Buttercup?
It's like
oh yeah, that's a good point.
It's like some Batman shit when Ra's al Ghul goes in the Lazarus pit or something, and then he comes out, he's like psycho for 15 seconds. He's just like, ah!
Which that's in Rising, right?
No, it's in the animated series.
Oh, okay. Which one? Ra's al Ghul. Yeah, he is in that one though.
He's in Begins, but he's a completely different character than he is in the fucking books and cartoons. And
Oh
stuff.
yes, because Bane's girlfriend is his daughter.
Yeah.
It's coming back to me. It's been a while,
but in that one he's like human, whereas in the books and stuff he goes in this thing he's actually 3,000 years old. It goes in this pit that rejuvenates you and keeps you alive, but it makes you also insane.
Cool.
Yeah. A lot cooler than Liam Pees My Pants Neeson.
Oh!
Have you seen that? Those
No.
pictures of Liam Neeson. It's so many pictures of paparazzi where he's covered in pee.
In different times.
Yeah.
Or a lot of paparazzi.
No,
at
just
the same
different
time?
times. He just keeps peeing himself.
Dude, that's alpha. That's the move. I'm gonna start peeing my pants.
Yeah, I bet he wishes those photos weren't taken.
Oh!
Yeah. Oh yeah, my favorite bit happens in, I think, Act 2, ironically.
Which when he
yeah.
clears his throat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
The Monty Python bit.
it's good.
Yeah, it's
Is
a good
that
one.
something that happened in Monty Python?
It
feels
just
like it.
feels like that. It probably has.
Yeah, the amount of stuff they've done, they've probably done something like that.
Yeah.
But it just like nonsense gags like that.
Yeah.
Like the one. Do you want to do the Tim one?
I mean, I think a bigger example of like a nonsense stupid gag is like where, and it's in Life of Brian. I know you haven't seen it, but there's like a gag where Brian's like trying to put a disguise on himself because the Romans are chasing him, and he tries to buy this thing off a vendor to wear, and he's like, oh, how much is it? He's like, oh, it's like 15 pounds or whatever, and he's like, all right, cool. He's like, no, whoa, you gotta haggle, you gotta talk me down. What are you doing? And they go and they do this bit for like 3 minutes, where and then he's like, all right, I'll give you like 12. It's, 12? Yeah, I'm practically giving it away.
Beautiful.
It's they just do nonsense, weird British gags like that, and I feel like that's similar to this, like that. Hey, Humperdinck is Humperdinck's on the side, mate. Whatever or whatever happens. Then they have a wedding happens while Andre the Giant lights himself on fire.
They make a giant disguise
With a wheelbarrow and a Holocaust cloak.
What?
A wheelbarrow and a Holocaust cloak?
Holocaust?
Holocaust?
Like,
Is that not what it is?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Is that what they named it?
I'm pretty sure it's called a Holocaust cloak.
Like the thing that killed like everybody in the 30s and 40s? Like
Yeah, that Holocaust.
Oh man, I hope not. I like it. Not the World War II. Yeah, that thing that like happened.
yeah.
Yeah,
6 million people just misplaced.
Holocaust cloak.
Wow.
The first result on Google is specifically Princess Bride.
You think like they would like change the name?
Oh, a Holocaust cloak is another name for a cloak of flames.
Oh, that's fucked up.
It's a heavy garment and is meant to ignite either due to the rage of the wearer, or something else,
A source of fire.
or as I don't know.
Yeah, this is pretty bad.
Yeah. They should have changed the
Holocaust
name.
That the Holocaust is something that burns. Don't like that.
Yeah.
Bad naming. Do you know how old the book was?
That's rough. 75 maybe.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's a
Can-
little late.
Can we get the name of the author first real quick? Was it allowed?
Was the author Jewish or?
Is there
Please don't be German.
Is there a Steen,
Oh,
a
God.
Berg? Yeah. Oh fuck! If it's a German,
William Goldman.
William Goldman rocks.
What else did he write?
He wrote the screenplay for Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
No way.
Oh, cool.
That movie rocks. Have you seen it?
No,
Movie rocks.
I've heard a lot about it though.
It's great.
Wait, I don't think I've only heard Sundance Kid though. I don't think I've heard the other part of the title.
Butch Cassidy.
Yeah.
Well, they're real people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is it like Cowboys?
Yeah. There's a great bit where they're cornered and Robert Redford's like, all right, it's time to shoot up. And Paul was like, no, we can just jump. We just jump off the cliff. We'll land in the water. We'll be fine. He's just like, no, we're going to shoot. And they keep getting into it. And Robert Redford's, I can't swim.
That's great. I'll watch that. That sounds good. Yeah, I'm still shook up by the Holocaust cloak.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm able to like recover from Holocaust cloak. But by God, we'll try.
Yeah, we gotta push through this, Mark.
Yeah.
Katie's
They
spirit
throw
virus.
Wesley into a bed, right? And he kind of lays in a bed for a while.
Well, they leave him in the hallway first, right? Because I think he gets
Yeah.
himself to the bed.
He gets himself to the bed. They leave him attached to a
Suit of armor.
I was gonna say coat of arms. I was like, that's wrong.
Yeah.
A suit of armor.
And then Oregano Montoya, Montana, fights Count Dooku the six-fingered man, after getting stabbed like 3 times, but he survives because his plot armor.
It's because the rage of his father lives on through him.
Yeah.
I love that he survives the whole adventure, though.
And finally avenges his father's death.
I love that he did that, and then looks like he's about to die, and then jumps out of a window to ride on a horse.
Yeah.
He's totally fine.
Yeah. And then Pumperdinck goes into the room and sees Buttercup and Wesley in bed. And Wesley can't move, and he starts making fun of Humperdinck, buying time. And then he bluffs and stands up, and Humperdinck gets scared and sits in a chair. And they tie him up, and then he immediately falls down. He's like, "Oh, I knew you were bluffing." And I think that's the end of Humperdinck in the movie, right? I don't think he ever shows up again.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
basically
pretty much the end of the movie. They just all jump out a window.
And then
and
Archer Duran's like,
I got 4 horses.
They were just here. They're white, and I thought you might want one.
I called the horses and there was 4. I knew if we found the girl, it'd be 4 horses and 4 people, so where we go?
I can't wait to hear how the mic's picking that up, because it looks like it's doing pretty well.
yeah. And then she jumps off and then, breaks her spine because she landed in Andre the Giant's arms.
That's to bring Superman back up. I always loved the argument of Superman flying to save somebody falling out of a building would just completely cut them in half when he catches them.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing is, like, with Superman is always, like, all that shit where people, like, talk, like, it's like, yeah, the guy has, like, the guy could rip a door off its hinges if he opened it. Like, like, you gotta, like, he's always doing, like, like, constantly, he's in a constant state of just, like, huh?
Well, I think he's flying so fast and they're dropping so hard.
Yeah. He's a Superman, okay? It's
You're
stupid.
right. It's stupid.
With that said, is Superman always flying? He's got to hold himself down, or is flying like a muscle that he has to like hold to do?
That's a good point.
Based on all of the dreams I've had in which I have flown, I don't think it's a muscle.
So you're just constantly holding yourself down?
Yeah.
It just happens. There's no effort required. You just fly. It's like breathing. You think about it and just happen. Well, no, I guess when you think about breathing, it becomes a lot more difficult.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Interesting.
I like the idea that he is just constantly flying and having to hold himself to the ground.
Well, if it's like
That's
Peter
really
Pan
funny.
logic, he has to be thinking happy thoughts to fly.
Oh, that's a good
That's
point.
true.
He
Oh,
needs
that's my
pixie
second
dust.
favorite movie.
Peter
What,
Pan?
Peter Pan?
Yeah.
Like the Disney one or the
Yeah.
2003
No, I
one?
thought it was Hook.
No, Peter Pan.
Hook.
Ah.
Hook
Hook is
rocks,
great,
though.
though.
Yeah.
Hook rocks. I love Hook.
I think
watch
Hook is probably
again.
number 3.
Well, you've never seen Hook, Nick?
No, I've watched it again.
Oh, okay.
I like that 2 of your favorite movies are Peter Pan based.
Yeah, it's almost like Peter Pan rocks, Nick. It's almost like swashbuckling is fun.
That's a good point.
Anyway, the movie ends, and the
Yep.
grandpa loves his grandson.
And the son invites him back for round 2.
Yeah, for The Princess Bride 2, a.k.a. Labyrinth, which came out a year prior.
Funnily enough, well, I don't know if they were actually planning on, what was his name?
William Goldman.
I don't know if Goldman was actually planning on writing another book, but at the end of the Princess Bride book, there was a section that was called Buttercup's Baby.
Ooh.
And it said it was like chapter 1 of the next book, and it never happened, and I was really upset.
Aw.
It's probably
Dude, they got
another
you
gag.
on both ends.
Yeah.
At the
Yeah.
beginning, they're like, this is based on a real book.
And then at the end, they're like, here's a new book, and then there was never a book.
That's
Like,
awesome.
damn it!
So, final thoughts on before we get into the ranking stuff. What did we all think of the film?
10 out of 10. As always.
I like it a lot. I think I
won't be offended if you hate it.
No, I had just as much fun with it this time as I did last time. I still think it's a really fun movie. It's not one of my favorites, but it's a great comedy. And I like the fantasy stuff. I think it works really well for the story.
It just has so many good, like, little lines that I'm just like, oh, amazing.
And that's why you remember all of them. Buckle up for marks.
Uh-oh. I think it's mid.
On God.
On God.
I need my
No cap.
translator.
I think it's mid, no cap. I don't know. I have a bias because fantasy is usually like the thing I don't like. I'm more of a sci-fi guy. But I'm not really into fantasy much. I think that the characters are a little too thin for my taste. This ain't no Taxi Driver. Where we're
my
getting
favorite sci-fi movie.
my favorite sci-fi movie. No, I think there's not a lot of character development with anybody. And
Montoya's is good.
I feel like I don't retain anything that happens in this movie every time. The 2 times I've watched it, because I was struggling pretty hard recounting that third act.
Yeah, I don't have trouble with the third, but that second act.
Yeah, I feel like after the first act, I don't retain anything.
I think that it's just the first act is so solid. I think it's just good storytelling overall. Like that'd be a great, just quick. I don't want to say like episode of a show.
Yeah,
it's like its own complete storyline.
It's a good pilot.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Makes you want to see more, but then ultimately gets disappointing, as most shows do.
I like the ending fights. I think is good. I think everything once they get in the castle is great. I remembered liking
Nicholas likes when the Holocaust cloak shows.
I was about to say. I remember liking that more last time, but I think I thought it was much bigger. It wasn't in like the proportions of it are messed up in my head because if it's just Andre lit on fire.
Well, he's on a wheelbarrow.
He's standing on top of a wheelbarrow.
But that's not like 7 feet tall.
Andre Giant's already 7 feet tall.
It's like 8 feet tall. Okay, we're getting more to the impressive size.
He can also be on his tippy toes.
He's also on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, on God.
But I was like in my head that first shot where it's like it shows the gates to the bridge opening and he's towering over it. It looks like I even said like, oh, this is like a weird miniature shot.
Yeah.
And it makes me think he's like the fucking Trojan horse. Like
yeah.
Like he's like 3 stories tall. And then he's just like a little bit taller than everybody that's there.
Yeah.
I would be afraid of a giant flaming man walking towards me though.
Yeah.
Even if I couldn't understand a word he was saying.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't think this is a bad movie. I just think that this is an atypical. This is not Mark's movie type movie.
Yeah, I feel that.
It's just 1, fantasy, not my thing. It's 2, like thin characters, not my thing. But that's what the movie's supposed to be doing. It's supposed to be like the most cliche thing ever. That's the whole point. But I'm like.
Yeah.
I'm too cynical for that right now.
I think it, like you said, it's definitely aiming to be those cliches, and I think it kills it.
Yeah, it definitely is exactly what it's trying to do. It's just not my thing.
Yeah.
But let's do the thing.
Yeah. So this is where we just have a couple categories that we rated on. So the first one's a story, which. I really like the story, so I'm just going to give it a 5.
I'm going to give it a 2.5.
Oh, that's pretty low.
10 out of 10. 5 out of 5.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, is that 5?
Yeah. We're going letterbox scoring.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Wait, was it the story itself or the storytelling?
The story. Just like...
Yeah.
Because these are the categories. I like, I don't know how I feel about the 10 scale versus the 5 scale because I just end up using the halves more with the 5 scale.
Yeah.
Which just ends up making it a 10 scale.
Yeah.
But it feels good.
But the halves always make you feel more like in power.
They have to earn that extra half to bump it up.
Exactly.
No, that's true. I believe you. Directing is the next one.
I 3.5.
Nothing really jumps out to me as bad directing.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of like how they make the make the actors act and
the blocking and all
how
that
everything's
stuff.
and...
Yeah, it's not like a badly directed movie at all. It's just it's hard to judge a movie that's so not your thing like that.
Yeah.
So I'd probably say 3.5.
Nice. I'm gonna say 4.
Because I do think that because there are fantasy movies that I do fuck with. Like, I love me some Willow.
Willow. I haven't heard Willow in forever.
Yeah, I love Labyrinth, obviously. Like, keep talking about the fucking worm. And, I love me some Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Even then, like, in moderation. Once a year, maybe. Once
Have you
every
read the
decade.
books?
Yeah, I could not do
They're
that.
fucking terrible.
They're
I'm
fucking... I remember I read The Hobbit and I wanted to fucking jump out a window.
Okay, The Hobbit I liked, but then I tried to read
The
the
Fellowship.
actual book of the first one, and I got like halfway through, and I was like, I'm literally gonna like light my house on fire. This
You
is so
finished
bad.
it though.
No, this is like when I actually read it. But then when I was listening to the audiobooks, I finished the first one, all like 27 hours of it. And I was like, that was really fucking boring. But I wanted to try to read the second one anyway. And I got like 7 hours in, nothing happened. I was like, I can't do this anymore. And I just returned it. I was like, fuck this.
All right, here we go.
Absolutely not.
The door is open for a hot take for me because because I know that me and you were never going to do Lord of the Rings on the show because that's
It's too long.
it's too much.
We'd have to do the uncut ones, and
No,
nobody got time for that.
no. Here's my hot take: the extended cuts are god awful. One, the effects look like shit in all the extended cuts. Two, there's so much unnecessary bullshit going on. And like that's the thing about like the Lord of the Rings is like people like it doesn't adapt to everything. That's why the extended cuts are better. Like, yeah, all that shit is fucking boring and it's useless. Like, you don't need to know what the elves are fucking up to in the Elven village. You just need that Kate Blanchett was like screaming. That's all I care about. I don't need to know. I don't need to spend like an hour there.
Well, speaking of things that don't have good character development, The Lord of the Rings had terrible character development. Maybe the movies were fine, but the books, I was like so unattached to every single character. I was like, everybody's boring.
Nah, the movies rock for that.
I'm like,
Yeah, the books didn't, because there was just so much, they're walking through the woods, and then like,
Yeah,
I
no.
was like, I am not attached to a single one of these characters.
I'm a
hated
third through Fellowship, the audiobook, and I think the most description of a character so far has been that
Big hairy feet.
Yeah, one of the families of hobbits has larger hairy feet than the rest of them.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of like what they do for work, and there's just so much singing.
Yeah.
The singing is killing me.
Yeah, I cannot stand the Lord of the Rings books, and I cannot stand the extended cuts, except for Return of the King extended cut. That rules. But
That's
Fellowship of the Rings extended cut, oh my god. I watched it like last year with Josh. Oh, I was ready to like kill myself. I was done.
Return, I really liked the extended, and then the other two I don't remember the theatrical one enough to know what was added.
I think the only reason why I like the extended cut of Return of the King more is because it actually has Saruman's death or whatever.
When he falls off the tower.
Yeah.
There was actually a big fight about that on set because Count Dooku, what's his name?
Christopher Lee.
Yeah,
Dooku.
Oh, I'm so mad I didn't remember his name. He was very upset with the death and was like visibly pissed off at Peter Jackson about the way he was directing the death because he felt like it was a like cheap death for such an important character. But
Is that how he dies in the book though?
I'm not that far.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
on like
You're 2 books behind.
yeah, and I'm 30% through the first one.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see if you make it through the second.
Yeah, I'm gonna force myself.
I literally,
to,
I was
so.
like 7 hours in and nothing, or maybe even 9 hours in and nothing had happened. And I was like, I cannot do another 17 hours of this. There's absolutely no way.
Yeah. Fuck that shit.
I think I'm gonna power through it so I can not feel like a poser when I wear my Tolkien shirt.
Yeah.
Does it make you more of a poser if you are just forcing yourself to go
Yeah.
through something?
I'm a
you hate?
hipster, babe. Acting is next. I actually think all the acting in this is pretty spot on.
4.5, baby.
Yeah. Does anything bring you like? Does any of the acting not leave a good taste in your mouth?
No.
I feel like even like the extras for the soldiers at the gate, I think do a fine job looking scared and running away.
Yeah.
Sometimes the Count doesn't have a very, very much anything going on with his face.
The Count's boring as fuck for me, personally.
Yeah. But I don't know if that's how his character is supposed to be or if it's the actor just not being that great.
They should have casted like an eccentric British man to do that. Like Sean Connery. No, I'm kidding.
Knew that was coming.
I'm kidding. Entirely kidding. Am I?
What would you give it for acting?
I think 4.5 also.
Whoa! All three of us agreed on something.
Woo!
Did you say 5 for directing?
I didn't even say anything, I don't think.
Yeah, we got you.
No,
We got
say-
Tolkiened.
Yeah, we did.
I'd say 5.
Nice. Cinematography.
Uh-oh.
5 out of 5.
I think I could fill the rest out.
Mark is gonna be like 2.
Yeah.
1.5.
No, I'll probably get like 2.5, 3. It's just none of the images stick with me at all. Like, yeah, it's not like technically bad, and it's well shot. It's just I don't know.
Not a lot going on. There's one scene in the like crime village thing.
Oh yeah,
That's like the only dynamic shot, but
when we're like, "What? This is the Northman?"
it's basically shot for shot copied.
Yeah, yeah.
So one move of a like crane shot.
Yeah, and Wesley starts walking around like a fucking like Alexander Skarsgård, like a brute.
Yeah, that'd be so sick. He has a wolf pelt on.
Yeah.
I think that's the only thing that really jumped out at me.
Yeah.
I liked looking. I mean, I know it's more like set design and stuff, but I really liked the matte paintings of the cliffs, and then some of the side, like the.
It's all art direction, dude.
I was gonna say I'm not sure how, because I mean you have to set the shot to have a matte painting in it, so I feel like it's both.
Yeah.
Was my whole like I don't know which category that would fall in. The skies I think absolutely fall into art direction,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like having to like set the blocking for the matte painting to fit in kind of falls in, and I feel like they used it really well for the cliffs, but the other ones were
Mid on dogs.
the ending one with the horse riding, like the 4 horses going, I thought was pretty good too. A good like credit title card. Were you gonna say something, Katie?
Oh, I was just gonna say that Cliffs of Insanity are a real place. Are a real place
really?
in Ireland. I actually filmed there.
That's
I mean,
cool.
they're not called the Cliffs of Insanity.
Oh, that's.
But it wasn't just made up rocks.
There's you can tell what scenes they're. Some of the scenes where they're rappelling up are definitely on location,
Yeah.
but those matte paintings, next time we watch this, because I'm sure we'll watch it again. You can actually, when you look really close to matte painting shots, you can see the line where the matte painting begins and where the actual like film stock is playing.
So interesting. Now that you brought up the Northman, do you think that that I will save you, mother, I will avenge you, father, I will kill you, Fiona is the new my name is Enrico Montoya. You killed my father, and I'm here to kill you.
Oh my god, that's perfect. It's like they made a movie out of the side character.
Yeah,
Did you just think of that right now?
I did.
That's pretty cool. I'm gonna tell Dennis about that. He's gonna hate that.
Yeah. I say that all the time. Whenever I'm upset, like, oh, I'm gonna save you, mother. I'm gonna avenge you, father. I'm gonna kill you, Fiona.
It's the mantra of the Northman.
And then I go to bed and I wake up and I'm jacked. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? And I raid a village.
It's that Wolfman ritual I did last night really kicked in.
Yeah, that really kicked my ass.
The next one is score. I'm gonna give it a 2.
Does that include sound effects, or is it?
It's just music.
Just music. What do you think sound effects fall under? Art?
Sound design.
We don't do sound design though.
We don't do the sound design though.
Oh my god! If you want to give credits to score for
sound
the cool,
design? 10 out of 10. 5 out of 5. I mean,
it's okay. You can give it 10. It's really good.
I think the sound effects. I mean, they're just so silly, but it's just so good.
Did you like the
Especially
atmospheric
during
music?
the fencing scene.
Mm.
Oh yeah, the score's fine. I enjoy it. I know that.
Okay.
I think you both hate
I
it.
thought you were gonna go. It's fine. 5.
It was.
Oh no! You could be
5 out of
critical
5.
of it.
No, I love it.
Would you listen to it on your own, or just in the movie? It's not.
I don't know. I feel like I might listen to it on my own, but only because it's nostalgic towards this movie.
Yeah.
Do you listen to movie scores like on your own sometimes?
No.
Do you, Mark?
Yeah.
I feel like you do. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a couple
Oh,
that I
Pirates
still
of the
listen to.
Caribbean. I've listened
That's
to.
Yeah.
that's a good song.
Yeah.
Sick
Labyrinth.
soundtrack.
It's so good.
Labyrinth soundtrack rocks.
Oh, what would you give the score?
2.
2. That's what I gave
Nah,
it.
fuck you. 1. They had the option for they had the option for Paul McCartney, and they rejected it. And it's a banger of a song. Once upon a long ago. Check it out. Paul McCartney deserves more love, even though he's the most beloved musician of all time.
Like it's currently selling out shows.
Currently selling out shows and is the most successful musician of all time, but he's still underrated.
He deserves more. Art direction is the next one. I'm gonna go 4. I really like the costuming in this movie for one character, and the rest I'm like,
What, Humperdinck?
yeah, humping dink.
Humperdinck. Yeah, that guy's in the wrong fucking business. Why would you rule the land when he could be a fucking porn star named Humperdinck?
Yeah, he fucked up.
He's born too early.
Yeah. Missed his calling. Art design, art direction, 4.5.
Oh, he gave it more than I gave it a 4.
Because I like
5 out of
it.
5.
I like it because it's got the Errol Flynn cheesiness about it, which is something
it's
that I'm
great.
into. I'm into the movie Adventures of Robin Hood. I don't know if you guys ever seen it.
I think I've seen like the cover for the DVD for that.
Yeah, it's one of the most famous posters ever. And a movie rocks.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
And then editing.
5 out of 5.
Which parts did you like?
All of them.
Yeah.
I will say I know nothing about like the artistic side of movies.
Well,
like I don't have an eye for that, and I have complete rose-colored glasses when it comes to this movie. So like it's just perfect.
The the art direction and stuff, you can totally. That's like the costuming, how the set looks, like everything that.
Yeah, but I
sets
think
the
it could
theme.
look like shit, and I would be like, "This is great."
Nice.
I'm gonna give it 3 stars. I would give it 4.5, but the second act drags so fucking hard that
It
the
doesn't,
pacing
though.
dies.
Like I feel like the whole movie's so fast, but you just don't remember the middle part. Like I don't know, it didn't drag for me. It's just like just happened.
I felt like
quickly.
once we left the fire swamp, and then until like the gang got back together, I felt like I watched an entire movie. For me,
Fair enough.
There's a lot of content that's covered. I feel like they should have kind of tried to figure out a way to cut a little more action into it or something.
yeah,
Something to just break up the
Yeah.
like monotony.
give me an Ewok.
It does end like really suddenly to me. Like
Yeah.
every time I'm like, "Oh shit, it's like over in 2 minutes."
Yeah,
Like
yeah, it's a little
It's fun,
weird.
though. It's definitely like overall this is a great movie.
Overall,
Much
it's
enjoyed.
mid.
I could see myself revisiting this like yearly.
I could
Just
see
as a-
myself not.
Yeah.
I've watched it on a lot of my birthdays.
It's a good one.
Overall, I'd probably give this movie like 3 stars.
I'd probably go 4. 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
5 out of 5.
Were there any standout performances besides
Billy Crystal as
Miracle Max?
caricature, Miracle Max, who supplied the Holocaust coat? So I guess now, all right,
He's
you know what?
tainted.
Billy Crystal, I think, is Jewish. All right, it's okay. He gave it to him.
He did say.
If Andre the
like
Giant
that.
was Jewish, even better. But I don't think he is. He's just French and tall.
Imagine him in the Resistance. Whew. Sheesh.
Nick saying sheesh is the funniest thing.
We're hip.
Sheesh.
Were there any performances of not main characters that you really
Of the
liked
standout caliber.
and jump out to you?
Yeah.
Besides, I know you really like Billy Crystal too.
Yeah. It's really Billy Crystal.
It's great.
Oh, I know what it is. It's
The
the
king.
fucking king. Prince Humperdinck's father at the end, after Princess Buttercup gets married, she's just like, she's talking to the king. They're like walking down the hallway holding hands together. Not Humperdinck, Humperdinck's father, just to clarify. He's like the king.
Father
He's
Dink.
like, yeah. She's like, thank you for being so nice to me, but I just want to let you know that I'm going to kill myself tonight. And then she gives him a kiss, and he just goes, that's very nice. She kissed me. Like, all excited. And I
Yeah.
just love that scene, too.
King shit.
So funny.
Based. But yeah, and
What
that
about you?
The-
Any standouts?
Same.
Yeah.
You picked the
Billy
king.
Crystal
Oh, no,
is really
sorry, Billy
just-
Crystal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Billy
The
Crystal's
King's-
really the one.
Yeah, that one scene's great, but man.
Oh, and the guy in the Pit of Despair.
Yeah.
Oh, British guy. I was actually my other one would have been the priest.
Oh, yeah, the
Marriage.
wedding.
Yeah, marriage.
It's
These
not bring
Romery
us
people.
together today.
Yeah, I think they said Romery at one point, and I get Team America flashbacks.
I haven't seen that in forever. My dad, on the list of movies, my dad showed me way too early. Team America's on there.
Oh,
I never
100%.
saw it.
Really?
Wait,
Oh,
is Team America the like adult like?
puppet movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a cartoon.
Is that the one that's like
Gary, to gain my trust, you have to suck my cock.
Yes, okay, good. I was like, there's another line that's very
And then he does it,
yeah.
and the movie just kind of stops for like 2 minutes.
For like an epic dick sucking scene, or
Yeah.
But it's puppets.
There's an epic
You'll-
puppet sex
you'll watch
scene
it,
where
you'll like
they're
it.
just banging the puppets together. Movie
We'll watch
rocks.
that for sure.
I think that wins the award for most insensitive movie ever
Yeah,
made.
I was trying to think of how to refer to the movie without something insensitive.
Oh, when they go to Durkistan,
Yes, exactly that.
or when they're fighting against the Film Actors Guild, the FAG,
It's great.
or when they keep cutting back to Matt Damon.
Okay, let's wrap this up.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. I've already reviewed that before.
Oh no, we don't need you to do your. It's the end of Shark Call.
Yeah, and
Marky
there's
the
no
Shark
Mark.
Boy
There's
is
no.
not
There's
here.
no Mark the Shark Guy call. We're not swimming into your podcast feed anytime soon. No chomp chomps here.
You missed the Jaws episodes.
Yeah. When I was yeah,
I don't even remember our sign off anymore.
we don't really have one. We just we were like, all right, that's kind of it. See you later.
Well, you do the like, subscribe.
Oh yeah,
leave us a
like,
review.
subscribe, leave a review on Spotify. I know you haven't yet, so you should do it.
Why haven't they, Mark?
Yeah, because he hasn't posted it on Spotify yet. Because he's lazy.
I haven't made the Spotify page for the show.
I've been doing this for 2 months or 3 months, and he still hasn't done it.
Enjoy the YouTube page.
Inconceivable. Anyway, enjoy us on YouTube at Mark Manley Podcasts. Yeah, that's it. Next week we're going to watch something. I remember I hinted at something. Forgot about it.
I also do.
Yep. I have like 4 movies in the back of my head of what's going to happen next week, so we'll see which one I pick. Bye-bye.
See you there. Have a good one.
Have a good one.